What's up, BiggerPockets? It is James Dainard, and we are back on BP's YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about how to maximize your next deal by utilizing the condo strategy. So right now we are outside of our duplex that we just purchased in Bellevue, Washington. We paid $1.125 million for this property. We put about $175,000 into the renovation. And as a duplex, the after repaired value is $1.45 million to $1.5 million. So our construction plan already increased the value dramatically. And that is a huge equity gain. We're increasing the value by over $200,000 by the renovation repairs. But as investors, it's our job to take properties to highest and best use. We are then going to be applying to condo each units off. These units will be worth $800,000 to $850,000, which will increase our value from $1.45 million to $1.6 to $1.7 million, another $200,000 equity increase by just filing some paperwork. At some point, you probably consider buying gold or silver as an inflation hedge or to add some stability in your portfolio. But unlike rentals, metals don't make you any passive income. Until now. With monetary metals, you can own gold and silver while earning up to 5% a year on it. And it's paid in ounces, not dollars. First, open an account with monetary metals. Next, choose what qualified business you want to lease your metal to, then earn some passive income. And if you're a accredited investor, you can even earn double-digit returns in their bond opportunities. Don't let inflation and high interest rates erode your hard-earned wealth. Diversify your holdings and earn an inflation-proof income with monetary metals, a yield on gold paid in gold. So head over to monetary-metals.com/big for an exclusive offer for BiggerPockets listeners. So what is the condominiumizing strategy? Well, first and foremost, it doesn't work in every type of market. You need to research your local jurisdiction of where you're investing in. But what the strategy is just like a condominiumized complex, where a builder builds a big complex, they then condo off separate units and sell them separately. We're doing the same thing on this duplex unit, and the city does allow for that. The concept is you form an HOA and you condominiumize a portion of the property. So you can even do this for your mailbox or a bedroom inside of your house. In theory, if I was living in my house, I don't want to condo off a bedroom to sell it off, because then I have this person in my property the whole time. So that's probably not the way to use it unless you write me the right offer on my bedroom. I will take all offers, write them in the description below. You can live with me, make sure it's big. So currently we're at our duplex in Bellevue, and what we're in the process of doing is we're finishing the renovation, and we are going to be condomizing, creating an HOA and two separate units to where we can sell them off separately. The first thing you need to research as an investor is, can you actually do that? In our local Washington market, there's very few cities and jurisdictions that will actually allow us to do that. What has happened in this local Seattle market is the popularity of dadu investing. That's where an investor buys a property, renovates the home, and then builds an additional unit in the back, condos them off, and sells them separately. So you get two sales out of one deal. In Washington, Seattle is one of the few cities that you can actually condo them and sell them off. Many cities will allow you to build a DADU, but they won't let you actually sell it off. So you need to research your jurisdiction. But what is happening across America, and especially on the West Coast, as inventory tightens up and there's a demand for affordable housing, cities are starting to pivot and allow for these properties to be sold. 3 to 4 years ago, Seattle was one of the few cities that will allow you to do this. Recently, massive legislation is rolling through Washington where more cities are adapting this. So by the end of 2024, there's going to be an additional 10 to 15 cities that are going to allow us to do this in Washington to expand our investor network. So as an investor, if you want to look at this concept, look at what's going on in your legislator. Are they allowing for ADUs to be built? And then are they allowed to be condomized off for sale or for rent? Because you want to look at this in two different ways. So currently we're about 2 weeks away from wrapping up this renovation. We've gone through a substantial renovation. We're wrapping up the bathrooms, and we're also starting the process to condo off these units. So what is that process? It's actually fairly simple, but you need to use professionals. We've ordered a survey for the property. They're staking all the property lines. They're going over where the building location is. Once the survey is complete, it's then going to go over to an attorney that specializes in the condo process. They're going to establish the HOA, file all the documents, work with the surveyor, and get it complete. Once you sell the properties, this same attorney is going to take them through the process of transferring over the HOA and getting the property warrantable so you can sell it with traditional financing. So by spending $1,500 on a survey and hiring an attorney for about $4,000, I am increasing the value over $200,000 because now I can sell them separately and they have a much higher value than what a duplex is worth. But you still need to pick the right property to do this process. Just because you're condomizing off the units doesn't mean you're going to get actually more value for the property. We buy multifamily regularly. Typically, on average, we're picking up a couple hundred doors every year. Many of those units, I would not go through this process, and let me explain why. The first thing is you want to make sure that your units are very livable. They're good for resale. If this property was a smaller duplex with an up and down units, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, no yards, no garage. If I was going to pull comparables for that type of unit, the values would drop substantially. The reason it works on this specific duplex is because we have large, oversized units. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a laundry room. We also have a formal kitchen, a dining, a living room, patios, a garage unit, and a yard. These are very livable units that are more than just rental condition. So after my first initial walkthrough and feeling the floor plan, I saw that there was potential for more. This could be more than just a rental property. It was very livable. Families could live here. They got all their spaces. But then I had to find out and verify that the numbers actually made sense. Remember, as a duplex, it's worth $1.5 million. For me to condo off these units and sell them separately, they're going to need to be worth at least $800,000 for me to go through all this extra trouble and paperwork to get the optimal value out of it. I went back to my office and I pulled comparables for like kind. I pulled townhomes that were single story, that had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with garages that were built in around the same era. This gave me very good data points. I didn't go to brand new townhomes. I went with similar style projects. What I saw were values that started from $800,000 all the way up to $950,000. Now let's take a step back. If I had walked this property and it didn't have yards, it didn't have garages, and let's say it was a top-bottom unit and they were a little bit tighter and felt more like an apartment. When I went to go pull comparables like that kind of product, those units were only selling for about $500,000. So for me to condominiumize this property, if it wasn't livable, I would have actually have lost $300,000 to $400,000 versus keeping it as a duplex. So you really want to dig into what are your units? Are they livable? Are they marketable for that end buyer? Does it have the right location? Does it feel good? And then run the comparable analysis. Not every comp is the same. It is extremely important that you're using the same type of product. Remember, I pulled similar sized units that were ramblers, had the same size yards, the same size garage, in addition to were built in the same type of era, all within the same proximity location. I did not want to go to different types of class because it was going to give a different types of price. New townhomes are going to be built a lot different. They're going to have taller ceilings, better spaces. They come with warranties. Those are going to sell for a lot higher. And they were selling for around $1 million. But by finding the right type of product and the right type of comparable, it told me that taking it through the condo process was going to yield me that extra $200,000. So again, make sure that your units are livable, that you have the comparable data of like kind that will validate this process. From there, I had to verify with the city that I could then sell them off separately as well. The last thing I'd want to do is condominiumize off these properties, split them into separate units, just to be able to not sell them down the road. There's a reason for that. Once you change the property, the taxes then change. I would have been then assessed at 2 different parcel addresses at a higher value rather than the duplex value, and it would have increased my property taxes, which would have reduced my monthly cash flow if I couldn't sell them off later. So again, you want to make sure that you can condominiumize them off, then sell them separately. You don't want to go through this process just to increase your property taxes. That's not a smart move. After you've verified with the city that you can condo off your units and sell them separately, verified the comps that you have the exact same type of properties to give you that underlying value, then you need to check your scope of work and put the right rehab plan in. Now remember, we are buying this property, keeping it as a rental and selling them separately later. That means we're going to be marketing this property not to an investor that is buying a rental property. We are marketing to the end user. That's going to be a different type of renovation. So in this property, we could have spent about $100,000 on it to get it rent-ready condition. That would have been putting in flooring, cabinets, doors, trim, rental grade spec. It would have brought our values way down. We would have used cheaper windows. We would have done cheaper landscaping packages. but we weren't. With changing the plan from keeping it a duplex into separate units, we wanted to make sure that it was going to be marketable to that next buyer. So right now, for example, we are inside these bathrooms here. We have stripped them down to studs. We had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit, but the in-suite primary bath was very small, wasn't good for living. It was fine for rental, but for the end user, it wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense. So because we were marketing for that higher price and that different type of end user, it required us to spend $75,000 more on this property by opening the kitchen wall, making it an inviting kitchen area, taking this primary bath and making it expansive. So the person buying this is going to have that big bathroom. Remember, kitchen and bathroom sells properties. We had to put the money in the right spots. So your renovation plan will also change compared to your rental renovation plan. Make sure you notate that on all your comparables, what is selling, and then budget accordingly. Again, this property would have cost me $100,000 to renovate if I would have just been taking it to rent-ready condition. But because I was targeting the end buyer, I was spending almost double on my rehab plan. You want to verify those costs, perform it out, and still make sure that deal works. The other advantage of condoing off your properties and doing a different type of renovation plan is you are increasing the value, which is going to give you more access to leverage. When we bought this property, we used a commercial portfolio loan. We bought it as a duplex. That is a 20 to 25% down loan. So when we bought the property, we came in, we put our 25% down, and we got commercial financing on it. After the properties have been condominiumized, we have raised the value up, and this is where the BRRRR kicks in. So when we bought this property, we put $250,000 down. When we increased these values on a condominiumized basis, we are now having units worth $850,000. We are allowed to go up to 75% with a conforming loan. We don't have to use portfolio money at that point, and we can refinance back almost all of our cash. So in addition to increasing the value, it can give you more access to leverage. When you're buying a duplex property as an investor, many times you're putting 20-25% down. On this property, that's about $250,000 down. When we're done with the condo process, we've now increased each unit up to $800,000 to $850,000. Because they are separate units, we now then can refinance each unit up to 75% and get almost all of our cash back out. So once we're done with the process, we've increased the value up to $1.6 million, and we can get almost every dollar back. So by having separate units, it gives you more flexibility on financing. In addition to, it gives you more flexibility in what you can do with your investment. So again, I bought this as a duplex property, and I bought it through a 1031 exchange. I sold the duplex and I bought a duplex. I am now condoing off the units, and I'm going to keep each unit as separate rentals for at least a year. I'm probably keeping this one for 2. But when I decide to sell, I can sell them separately and start 2 separate 1031 exchanges. Or I can sell each unit when I want to. It gives you extreme flexibility on how to dispo out your project. With 1031 exchanges, you have that clock. You got to identify that property in 45 days. By condoing off these units, it gives me a lot more flexibility as I try to scale out my portfolio. I can sell one at a time when I find the right investment. I don't have to sell the whole building and source another big building. If a good opportunity comes up, I can put one unit up for sale, 1031 exchange over there. Another building comes up, I can 1031 exchange the other unit. So by having more flexibility, that makes me allowed to scale and grow a lot quicker because I can make the right purchases. So with the shortage of housing, the condomizing investment strategy is taking America by storm. Cities are starting to see that they need more units. People are getting allowed to build dadoos in the back. They're dividing off duplexes to give more housing to the population that needs it. But remember, not every city and every county is doing this. You need to check in to your local jurisdiction. Is it on the docket? Is it allowable? Can you resell it? You don't want to condomize up a bunch of multifamily just to increase property taxes and not be able to sell it. After you've verified that the city will allow you to do it, then you have to find the right type of product. Remember, target units that are good for livability, good for resale. There's many different types of multifamilies out there. Some are great for rental units, and some are really good for livable that can be sold separately. Remember, you don't want to get stuck selling weird. Once you've identified that opportunity, hire a surveyor and an attorney that specializes in condo docs that can take you through that process. Do the condo overlay, establish the HOA, and get the property marketable and can work with all the title companies so you can resell them later for a bigger profit. Always verify your values. This can be a tricky property to put comparables on. Values can swing everywhere. The last thing you want to do is condominiumize off your property, increase your property taxes, and get stuck with a unit that you can't sell. That's just going to be a net loss. So work with your brokers, get the right values on it, and then put together the right rehab plan that's going to get you to that value. The strategy in the construction planning is essential for this. Again, if you renovate them as rental units, they're going to sell like rental units and you might not get that spread. So you're going through all these costs to be able to sell them separately, but then you're going to get stuck with a big bill. Don't do that. Thank you for watching this video on how to maximize your deal through utilizing the condo process. If anybody else watching has done this, comment the link below. Let me know how it went. And if you want to see more of me, make sure you like and subscribe below or check us out on jamesdainard.com or jdainflips on Instagram.